Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'd like to talk about a few things I've noticed about the Dean Speed Rampage slip-on exhaust for my Indian Chief and throw together a few tips on things to avoid or maybe help make the installation easier for you. So to start off, I would just like to say that Dean Speed seems to make some pretty solid stuff. And I reached out to their customer support on a few questions I had. They have been very kind and helpful when I came to them with concerns. Now that being said, here are a few things to watch out for when installing your Dean Speed Rampage exhaust. So tip number one, the pipes can be a little tough to install, so I recommend using something like WD-40 to slide the stock pipes off and the new pipes on. Tip number two, be very careful when moving the pipes and make sure your clamps do not scratch your paint. I made this mistake and I now have a permanent scratch between my pipes. Tip number three, make sure you use Loctite with the quiet baffles nuts if you plan on using the baffles. I did not use Loctite and lost one of my nuts on a recent ride. Luckily, I was able to find a replacement in Home Depot for like 25 cents, but I definitely learned my lesson on needing to use Loctite. Tip number four, when installing the new pipes, you can use the Allen wrench that comes stock on your Chief with the new hardware to attach the Dean Speed pipes. You can find this Allen wrench on the bottom of your bike, directly below the seat. So with those few tips out of the way, now we'll move into a few things I've observed since I have installed my pipes. When you are done installing your pipes, if you see a lot of condensation spitting from the exhaust, this seems to be normal. I did a smell test and it does not seem to be gas for me, just a lot of condensation. The Dean Speed pipes are also fairly close together. There's not a very large gap in between the pipes and they can sometimes rub on each other. I have started to notice a small patch of paint where it is visible that they are rubbing. A few other concerns I've had are ones I haven't quite figured out yet. As I mentioned previously, I did reach out to Dean Speed for help on a few concerns. One of my major concerns is that the bike does not seem to want to restart as reliably as it used to. Now, what I mean by that is the bike will spit and stutter when I attempt to turn it on for the first time if I let it sit for a day or two. It takes about 3 tries to get it to turn on, and I've noticed black soot shoot out from the back of the pipes once it is actually able to fully turn over. I have attempted to get some video evidence of this in the past couple of days, but I have not been able to get the bike to replicate the stuttering and starting issues, so I don't know what it was. It could have been a loose header bolt, or maybe I didn't have the pipes or clamps completely tightened, not exactly sure, but so far no issues have happened again regarding starting the bike. So moving on to my final concern about the pipes. And that concern is my bottom pipe, the end tip seems to be slipping off consistently. Now it's not coming off completely, and I have tried gently hammering it back into place, but the vibration from the bike running seems to dislodge it every time I go for a ride. At this point, I have simply resorted to knocking it back into place after every ride, but it can get a little irritating. So that's about it for today's video, guys. So if you guys have had any issues with your Dean Speed Rampage exhaust on your Indian Chief, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear if you guys have had any issues with your exhaust and maybe you figured something out, helped the community out with maybe an issue you've solved. But yeah, other than that, I guess that's it. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you next time.